I thought I had a consistency problem. Then my autistic son proved me wrong. For years, I've struggled with creating content consistently. But today, while making my son's meal, it hit me. I wanted to share this because I want to help someone. Perhaps you're like me, you create content, post it, then you disappear for weeks or months, and then you post 1 or 2 days, and then you disappear. So, my son is autistic. He's 20 years old. He eats the same meal every day: potatoes, plantains, fish, beans, all mashed up together, and that's his meal. He's eaten this way since he was 2 or 3 years old. And in all those 20 years, I've never missed a single meal. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, same meal every day, 24/7, 365 days a year. So I had this revelation. In fact, it taught me three things. One, I have no business saying I'm inconsistent. I have no business saying that I am not consistent. I have been consistent for years. Making his food is non negotiable. So whether I'm feeling sick, whether I'm feeling happy, sad, whether I'm broke, whether I have money, whatever the situation is going on, whether I'm overwhelmed, whatever, it's not negotiable. His food gets made. In those 20 years, he's never missed a meal. So like I said, I have no business saying I'm inconsistent. That's the lie that I believed. And this realization just made me, I've been doing this for 20 years, non-stop, and, most times not breaking a sweat is just part of what I do. So why can't I do the same thing for creating content? The second thing that I realized is that I know the recipe. So I already know the recipe for creating content. When making my son's food, it has just like these 4 or 5 ingredients that go in the food. It's the same meal every day. It's the same recipe every day. And it's the same thing with content. Content creation has a recipe. There's, 4, 5, 10, 12 great teachers and people out there who have given us the formula to create content. The one I like really is, a hook, a story, a lesson, and a call to action. So we already know the recipe. I already know the recipe. When it's time to make my son's food, I don't start saying, let me go and research potatoes. Let me go and watch YouTube on how to fry plantain, because I already know the recipe. So just boom, 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 do the thing, and the meal is done. So the same thing with creating content. You already know the recipe. So all you need to do is implement it, practice it, and then it becomes muscle memory almost. So the second thing that I learned is that you can also batch your content. When I make my son's meals, when I first started, when he was little, I'll make his meal one at a time. When it's time for breakfast, I'll make breakfast, feed him. When it's time for lunch, I'll make lunch, feed him. And then one day my aunt who was visiting just said to me, why don't you just make 3 or 4 of his meals at a time? And then you feed him with one, and then you put like the next 3 meals in the fridge. So that's what I started doing. So that's what I do now. I make his food in bulk. I make it in a big bowl, mash it, and then divide it, feed him one, cover the rest with cling film, put them in the fridge or the freezer. And I don't have that stress of every time going into the kitchen to make his meal. I'll make his meal once a day or once every 2 days, and then I can go and do other things. Let me summarize. First, you are not inconsistent. In fact, if you check your life, there's some things that are non-negotiable. You've proved your consistency, whether it is in paying your rent no matter what, paying for your DSTV or your broadband or your data on your phone, whether it is taking your child to school every day or whether it is walking your dog every day, you are already consistent. There's already proof that you are consistent. So you have no business, and I have no business telling myself I'm not consistent. The main thing to do really is to make it a priority. Do not accept that lie or that identity and say, oh, I'm not a consistent person. I'm not somebody who knows how to finish. You do know how to finish, and you do know how to be consistent. So just take what it is that you want to be consistent with. In this case, content creation. Give it that same priority. Give it that same non-negotiable thing. If I'm feeding my son, there's a reason why I don't want to miss his meals, because obviously he'll go hungry. But even with content creation, there is a purpose for it. So even though You might not post today and get millions of followers and all your clients on that day. But that consistency, posting every day, by the time it's 30 days, you start seeing a difference. 60 days, 90 days, 1 year, 2 years, you can actually completely change the future of your business just by that consistency, by showing up every day. So that's the second thing. Thirdly, you can batch your content. And then finally, I just want to say you need to get off that hamster wheel. And I'm talking to myself honestly. You need to get off that hamster wheel of collecting recipes. It's time to stop collecting recipes and start cooking instead. When you're scrolling, somebody says, "Oh, I have the perfect formula, download this." And "Oh, I have the perfect formula, download that." And then you're downloading this, you're taking courses, you're saving things on your Instagram, you're making screenshots, you're doing all those things. You're collecting recipes. You're standing in a kitchen that is full of cookbooks, but you're hungry because you're not cooking. Recipe is not what feeds somebody. It is the cooking and the food that feeds somebody. Still in this food thing, it's the food that feeds people. It's not the recipes that feed people. You cannot eat a recipe. You have to cook the food and eat the food or feed your people, in the case of content. You need to feed your people. I don't think you are inconsistent. In fact, believe me, you are not inconsistent. You have proof already that you are a consistent person. So next time you want to say, "God, please help me to be consistent," instead, "Oh God, show me where I've already been consistent so that I can transfer that thing. Show me where I've already done hard things. Show me where I've already stepped out of my comfort zone. Show me where I've already been consistent so that I can use that as proof to know that I can also be consistent in this content creation." So, like I said, when you batch your content in one day, you can have one, for instance, this, which I'm making into a video. I'm also writing it as a post. I'm also going to send it as an email. So, you have that batch of content that you can take one piece of content and repurpose it and so on. Again, I just want to encourage you. Stop collecting recipes and start producing, start cooking, stop consuming, start creating. Enough of the consuming. And also stop believing that lie. It's a lie. It's a lie that you're inconsistent or that you're not consistent. That's a lie. Or as my people say, it's a lie from the pit of hell. Yeah. So that's it. I hope it helps you. And if you know somebody that needs to hear this, please share it with them. And then follow me for more encouragement and more stories.